Hello, welcome to UFS TV. Today's a bit of a strange one really, because it should be sort of a solemn occasion. Today is the 40th anniversary of when Bruce Lee died. He died on the 20th of July 1973. And at the time it was such a shock, because he was known as the fittest man alive. You know, he was 32 years old. Enter the Dragon was about to come out. It had all been filmed, it was all ready. It's been released the following month. And he had this cerebral edema, this swelling of the brain, and he died in Hong Kong. So it was a big shock. I've heard Richard Bustillo talk about it in really moving terms, about how they got the news. He got the news from a phone call, I think it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, it was really difficult to comprehend. Bruce was in such great condition at the time. He was so enthusiastic. There were so many plans. He had this big movie coming together. It was like all of his struggle had happened, and now it was coming to fruition. You know, that these 2 or 3 years of success in Hong Kong. The films have been great. The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon. Part of Game of Death had been filmed, which in the end wouldn't come out for another few years. And Enter the Dragon was about to come. You know, and the really weird thing is his martial arts legacy was really small at the time. You know, there was a bunch of guys training at Dan Inosanto's backyard in California, and that was really all there was. The big industry around Bruce Lee really didn't happen until he died. So on a solemn thought, it's a sad thing to say that Bruce Lee died. On a much more positive note, without Bruce's passing, it's highly unlikely I'd be talking to you now. It's highly unlikely I would have this martial arts centre. It's highly unlikely I would be learning Jeet Kune Do, because the way Bruce wanted to view his martial arts was it was a group of people that he wanted to train specifically. I mean, you know, if he'd have been now 72, who knows how his mind would have developed. He was a scholar of martial arts. He was someone who really thought about them. He read loads of books. He had over 200 books on boxing in the 1960s. I think it was 19 books on fencing. Even now, with Amazon, you'd struggle to find that many books on boxing and fencing. But he had this real library of information which he used to read voraciously. John Littler's talked about how he went into Bruce's garage. Linda had kept all of his books and made all his notes were in these books. No one had looked at these books for years until John Littler went in and started going through those, and then developed a series of books that we were lucky enough to have access to a few years later. So without Bruce's passing, who knows where Jeet Kune Do would have gone. All we can say is that because Bruce passed on, Dan Inosanto and Richard Bustillo went into partnership together to set up the Filipino Kali Academy in 1974 to spread the art that was Jeet Kune Do. And we have to be really grateful for that. You know, the people that I've met, the friends that I've met throughout the world, the art that I continue to teach, the arts that many people that I know continue to teach in all different forms. Everybody has their version and take on Jeet Kune Do, and however they think it should be true to Bruce's original art, or whether it's developed as it has through Inosanto, Bustillo and many others. All of this happened because this man died in 1973. So on the 40th anniversary, it's a real shame, and we really think about Bruce on this day, and we think about the family, Linda, and of course the tragedy that happened with Brandon much later on. But without that happening, I wouldn't be talking to you today, I very much doubt. This martial arts centre, like I said, wouldn't exist. I wouldn't have met all the thousands of people that I've met. So I'm grateful for Bruce's whole legacy, really. So how do we say, not really happy anniversary, but it's just one of those sad things. He passed away 40 years ago today, and we celebrate his life and his teachings. Good old Bruce Lee. Just before we go, this is actually a picture, and this was the last family picture of Bruce Lee and the family. There's Bruce and Linda, Shannon and Brandon, and that's the last picture that was ever taken of Bruce Lee, and was given to me by Richard Bustillo. 1997 he gave me that, and that's one of the things that sits in our academy, and we think about that. So that's it from UFS TV. See you again next week.